Yes. And hello, everyone. I have Lori Christine here. She's one of my students. And Lori, tell us, please, how did you become a timeline healing practitioner?
Well, I became interested in Sal Rochelle's work probably around April of this year when I was on a little mini vacation. I got immersed in a lot of his teachings and I just became very interested in his work. And that led me to email and ask questions about workshops and classes and programs. And I became connected to Jan. And when this training came up, she sent it to me. And so I took a look at it because I'd never heard of it. So I was like, what is this? And I researched it and I found that it's a reputable technique that many counselors use, many mental health professionals use. And that interested me because I thought that it could be useful to some of the people that I'm drawn to. I tend to draw a lot of people that have problems with their thinking or mental health issues. So I thought this might be an excellent tool to be able to help people.
And tell me, it was April this year. Have you experienced timeline healing before the training or no?
No.
It was your first session was over on training. What is with your light? It is like
It's the sun coming through the
okay,
trees.
nice. So sun is coming here.
Yes.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
beautiful sun.
Yes.
Oh,
And
sun.
please tell us about all the other things that you are doing and all the services that you are offering.
Okay. Well, I have a master's degree in educational psychology, which is the study of how people think. So I've been working with individuals and people my entire career, so about 30 years or so. And I started to dive into the more spiritual aspect probably in 2012. And I started with reading tarot cards. I don't read people's future. That's just not information I get. I use it more to show them what they need to see or tell them what they need to hear, help them to overcome blocks and obstacles, give them a higher perspective usually. And then I started doing mediumship. My daughter passed away suddenly in 2019, and that it required me to really use my mediumship skills in order to communicate with her. So I dove deep into that work. So I've been doing the mediumship work and some of the psychic work. And then of course, then that led me to medical intuitive training. So I've been trained as a medical intuitive, which really just means I can scan your body and, we can talk about emotional causes for why you have different mental health, or I'm sorry, physical conditions. So I do that as well. And I recently started a business on behalf of my daughter called Keara Kisses. And that is offering retreats. I have 3 different retreats. One is to help people to be happy. One is to help parents who are parenting children in the 21st century. And I like to work particularly with parents who have kids that are spirited, kids that are diagnosed with attention deficit, kids that are just different than their parents. I love to work in those environments. Any kids that are challenging their parents those are my kids. So I like to work with that population in particular. And then I also have a retreat for living after the death of a loved one, specifically a child. So I do that, and I offer online support groups where people can sign up 1 week at a time and be in, it's a Zoom, so be in a group setting and share experiences and tips. And then I also teach and train in that. And I do one-to-one mentoring as well. So, and I've been using the timeline healing. I'm part of a large group of, I think, 300,000 members. And there's, I do readings on there. And there's a side group for the readers, and we'll talk amongst ourselves. And sometimes I'll be like, who wants a reading? And one day I gave, 4 readings, and I gave each one a timeline healing, and they loved it. So I've been using it there. And then I use it, there's a community place where I do community work. So on Mondays I go, they have a mindfulness program on Mondays. So I go and deliver some type of an educational program, but it starts with a meditation, and I use the timeline healing for that. And it's been very well received.
I can hear from what you are talking that timeline healing is the right tool, like in the all the things that you do, and how the all of them are just you can mix them together and they're supporting each other.
Yeah. Yes. And that's what it intrigued me about it when Jan sent me the email. And I was like, oh, here's another tool for my toolbox. And I've actually kind of modified it a little bit to really suit my needs. And it now it like so the other day I had someone that was struggling, and she came in with it was somebody that I met when I actually started reading about Sal when I was vacationing. I met her on vacation, and she wanted to hit me up for a reading, and we talked for a little bit. And then I said, I'd like to do this timeline healing for you. And she said, okay. And what I liked about it is she had this one issue. I don't, I'm not going to get into the issue, but she had this one issue. And then we got into the timeline healing, and she thought she was going to see one thing, but she saw something completely different that she didn't see coming. And it really related to the issue she came to me for. And it was such, I have a tendency without timeline healing to be able to shine bright light on what people need to see. It's just something that I can, spirit gives me, and I can show people. So I'm used to being able to, in a sentence or in some kind of expression, change people's life in a way, right? Allow them to change their life from something I've said. But the timeline healing is just as profound, because I really facilitate that. I mean, I facilitate it when I channel the message through as well, but it feels more like it comes directly from me, even though it doesn't. But when they do the timeline healing, it's being shown directly to them. So it's just more, I'm still facilitating. So I'm still the facilitator, which is what I believe I am. I don't believe I'm a healer. I don't think I can heal you. I think I can facilitate healing. I think only you can heal you. So I like that it gives the power to the individual receiving the service, because they're like, oh, and she got out of there and she was a different person. I mean, I could see it in her face, because she just hadn't made the connection. It had to do with a situation when she was 11, where she was trying to save a brother. And she then realized that she was applying that to her love relationships. She had to stop picking people that she had to save. And she had to go back and heal this time and realize it wasn't her responsibility to save her brother, and la 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 la, and she did all that, and she didn't see that coming. Like, she didn't make that connection at all. She thought it was something when she was 18. So I've loved that. That's happened a few times.
This is I remember from my beginnings that timeline healing opened some kind of magical journey in my life. It is magical. It is. And tell me about maybe more benefits that you have seen in your life.
Um, in my life, I haven't thought about it
It
much.
is a short period of time from May till September, but maybe you can like.
I've been working on a lot of, I've been releasing a lot of baggage and working on a lot of stuff. Have I had more profound insights between April and now? Probably. I have aha moments sometimes every day, in general. They've been probably more deep since I started, digging a lot deeper. Also, it's given me the power to recognize that I can heal things that I can't see and that are not necessarily in my awareness. And that's very empowering, right? I don't want to use the word, I don't use the word hope a lot, but it gives me a lot of faith that I'm exactly where I need to be, and that we can heal ourselves. So I like that aspect. I'd say that it's got a piece of hypnotism to it. It's not hypnotic. It's not hypnosis in any way, but it's got an element of that to it. And it caused me to dive deeper into hypnosis, which has been interesting to me, but I've never gone there. And so I've done a lot. And I think that because of that, when I actually do the timeline healing, I can do it anywhere. I could do it anytime. I can do it very fast. I did it in a knitting group the other day, and there's people talking around us, and we were still doing it, and the people that were in it loved it. And it's not always what you think it's going to be. It's not always they're going to see a past event. Sometimes they just get a meaningful message that they need to hear. It depends where the person is and the intention that they set when we go in. So it's had different, outcomes for different people. The benefits are that I'd say the biggest benefit is that it allows me to facilitate people to heal without looking like I'm doing it for them, or it's something I said. They're really getting it. It's direct from the source themselves, because I'm guiding them to it with their higher self. So that's been a huge benefit for me. A huge benefit for me has just been seeing the impact it's made. Seeing people get that aha moment where they make the connection between a problem they're having in their current life and something that happened, when they were younger or in a past life. So I'm absolutely loving that. So I also think that another benefit it has given me is I don't meditate. Can't believe I said that out loud. I knit and I walk and I have quiet time to myself. But I see this as a guided meditation. So it's also opened the door for me into doing guided meditations, because I didn't realize how powerful they were. And the group aspect makes it even more powerful. So I guess those are some of the benefits that I've seen and I've enjoyed.
I just remember Salva Kelly once said in a training that he doesn't meditate, but he is in meditative state often. It's not like a practice that you can do daily or twice a day or twice a week, but it's like as you said, you go through things and you heal them, just like it's not like my life and then some practices, but it is all like flow of the life.
Well, yeah, and I can talk to spirit anytime. I don't need to get into a meditative state to do that. And I think that our culture conditions us to think you have to. I'm in readings, I'm constantly being told I have to meditate. I don't do well with being told what to do, and I don't do well with discipline. So I don't have a routine. I don't do the same thing twice, hardly ever, right? So meditation just it's not my cup of tea. But am I talking to spirit all day long, every day? Yeah, sometimes I am. Or anytime I want, they're just there. I can just easily access it. And it just is what it is. So am I in a meditative state? I don't know. I'm probably in a meditative state a lot, probably maybe even more than I should be, but I'm not consciously meditating. I don't think there's no right or wrong way to meditate. And there's so many people that want to tell you that there is, and there really just isn't. If the end goal is to feel at peace or to get messages from spirit or to connect with, your universal love, well, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. And I don't call it meditation. I call it life.
And you are shining and shimmering right now in all the colors of love.
That's the sun.
Yes. And tell me, are you available for live sessions also?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can tell all of us, where are you from? Where do you live?
I live in Wilmington, North Carolina, in the United States. I am on the Eastern Standard Time Zone. So I think that's 7 hours behind you.
Yes, it's 7 hours behind Latvia, Riga time zone. Yes.
And I have a podcast, and I have a website and a YouTube channel. My website is Keara, Keara, kisses.com. And you can find my podcast on any of the podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, Audible, and that's Modern Lifekeeping with Lori Cristine. And then my YouTube channel page is just Keara Kisses, the same thing. And I'm available. I'm excited to start doing my retreats. I'm very excited about those. I know that they're going to sell out. I'm just getting ready to really start advertising them. I haven't been doing that. I've been taking my time. I've been having fun with the timeline healing and doing that for these Mindful Mondays. So I've just been taking my time and I don't know, learning and absorbing, right? And healing. But I am available. I have a discovery call where you can book me for 15 minutes for free, and we can talk about, ways that I might be able to help people align. I'm open to doing group timeline healings for people. If we want to get together and do a group, that would be a lot of fun. I think that's beneficial. I can also teach mediumship and psychic. I like to teach. I should probably say that. So I can teach anything I know. I do crystals and aromatherapy and tea. I've got a lot of interests. The universe keeps me busy.
It is so nice to meet you again, and thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing your experience. And may all the forces be with you, and see you again. And we will put your website and all the contacts under below in description section also here on YouTube. And thank you, and see you.
Great. Thank you.